Hello and welcome to this player props edition of the Hockey Gambling Podcast. I am your host, Ryan Gilbert, and I am once again flying solo here for this player props on Tuesday, November 18th. We have 8 games on the docket. We had a full show yesterday. Myself, Joel, and Sean joined us as well to break down the 8 game slate there. So make sure you go back and listen to that if you haven't already. But yeah, gonna look at some player props here as I'm trying to do for these bigger slates on Tuesday and Thursday. Usually a lot of games, so usually a lot of player props to get through here. Top of the show, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Hockey Gambling Podcast on YouTube. That's where I'm going to go live for these. Where we go live for every episode. You get the most up-to-date information with these lines moving so often. So make sure you get the best prices there and shop around. And yeah, subscribe. Also, leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify or wherever you listen to your podcast. Follow us on Twitter at HockeySGPN. And you can get in the Discord if you go to sg.pn/Discord there. Before we get started here, also make sure you check out the SGPN merch store. You can gear up for the holidays at the SGPN merch store. The perfect gift for the DGen in your life. Promo code HOLIDAY for 25% off everything in the store. Got some good Hockey Gambling Podcast merch in there, so make sure you check that out. Rep the boys here. I know Archie is always looking good in his Hockey Gambling Podcast hat and hoodie there. But let's get just right into the 8 game slate here for tonight. I'm going to start with the St. Louis Blues at the Toronto Maple Leafs. This is a game, I think it's going to be a high scoring game. And the target first, it's going to be William Nylander. Let me share my screen here so the people on YouTube can see what I'm looking at as well. William Nylander here, looking at him, 8 goals, 18 assists, 26 points in 16 games. Looking at that recent games there, big point streak here for William Nylander. He's had a point in every game except one this season. So if you want to take him to get a point, that's probably a safe play. That's going to be pretty juicy though. Looking here, it's plus 144 for 2. Minus 320 to get 1 point there. So instead, I'm looking at him to get an assist at minus 155. He's done that in 3 straight games here, 7 of his past 8, and 13 of 16 on the season. So William Nylander with Austin Matthews out, I think he's going to try to take more of a lead and get things going offensively. So I like William Nylander there to get an assist. 2 points, 8 out of 16 games. Should be a high scoring game at home against the Blues. So, you can maybe take that for some plus odds if you want to do that. But I'm just sticking here with the Nylander assist for that minus 155 price. That is at DraftKings. You can get minus 164 is the second best price I'm seeing here at FanDuel. And also going to look at John Tavares. Not sure if they're still on the same line. Let me see if they're on the same line right now. They have Robertson, Tavares, Nylander as a top line. And Nyes, Domi, Cowan as a second line. So a very, very top-heavy Leafs team here without Austin Matthews and the rest of some other depth forwards there. But, Tavares, 24 points in 19 games, 56 shots, though. That's what I'm looking at here. Tavares over 2.5 shots on goal is around minus 145, minus 150. Looking at his game log, he's had 3, 4, 2, 5, 4, 3, 0, 4, 4, 5, 5, 3, 5 in his past. 12 games there. He's had 3 or more in 10 of them. Had a total of 47 shots in those 13 games there. So, that's almost an average of 4 per game. 4 per game would be 52. So just under that. And, 3 or more, like I said, in 10 of those 12. Also, might take a look at Tavares over 3.5 shots on goal at plus 175 at FanDuel. Hasn't done it as often, obviously, but still 6 of his past 10 games. And head-to-head against the Blues last year. In the home game, he had 7 shots on goal. And then the road game, he had 5. And just looking at how he's done this season, he's had 5 in 4 games, had 4 in 4 more, and had 3 in 3 more there. So worth a ladder play here with Tavares. Maybe, shots on goal Ladder round robin is something I like to throw out there sometimes. You can maybe take a look at that. I'm going to look at two defensemen here for the Maple Leafs. Oliver Ekman Larson, who is on the top power play in it for the Leafs for some reason. He has 13 points in 19 games. 11 of those are assists. He's plus 110 to get a point. He's plus 144 to get an assist. So if you want that extra 30 cents, you can go for it. But, had a goal a few games ago, 3 straight games with a point, points in 6 of his past 7 now. He's getting 20, 22 minutes, 26 minutes against the Blackhawks there with Chris Tanev out. They also have some other Carlo is out as well, so they're dealing with some injuries. He's seeing increased playing time both on the power play and the top pair there with Morgan Riley, who I also like to get a point. He is at plus money to get a point at I spelled Riley wrong. Morgan Riley plus 106 at FanDuel, plus 105 at DraftKings. Has 15 points in 18 games. Points in he had a 6 game point streak that ended, then had one more, so points in 7 of 8 games in November. On the season has a point in 11 of 18. So you get Riley at plus money, you get OEL at plus money. I have to think one of those hits. I do like it to be a high scoring game. I see the top pair contributing offensively there for the Leafs, but yeah, I don't think I'm going to go with any Blues props for tonight. Don't really love what they're doing offensively. Maybe Jordan Kyrou, something like that. But just the Leafs here at home. I think they to get right spot for both teams, as we said last night. But I just like the Leafs here for more of the props here. All right, now looking at a few other injured teams here. The New Jersey Devils. Starting off with Timo Meier, looking at him to keep shooting the puck here quite a bit. He has 60 shots in 18 games, so that's more than 3 per game. And recently, 5, 3, 5, 6, 5, 7 in his past 6 games there. So I think Meier, takes more of the mantle shooting the puck. He keeps that up with Jack Hughes out. He's on that top line with Nico Hischier and Jesper Bratt. And you look at his total shot attempts too in the past games: 10, 5, 9, 7, 12, 10. Like since that game there, he's really turned it on. He had a big stretch here, not a lot of shots on goal. He had eight games, 12 shots on goal from October 18th to November 1st. But since then, he's been firing the puck. So you can get over 2.5 at minus 210 as a safer play, but I like over 3.5 plus 126 or over 4.5. That's what he's done in 4 of his past 5 games now. Or 5 of his 1, 3, 4, 5. 5 of his past 6. He's had 5 or more, and that's plus 285. So that's a good number there as well. Maybe throw that in the round robin with the Tavares shots on goal ladder. Meier, I like him for the Devils. And then on Tampa Bay's side of thing, Brendan Hagel returned to the lineup recently. Had a point and 5 shots on goal there against the Canucks after leaving the game against the Rangers early. So he's back. He's feeling it on the season now. 15 points, 49 shots in 17 games. I think the Lightning still have a few injuries. Hagel is expected to play tonight because he played Sunday. Sorelli is a game time decision tonight. He is expected to come back. That'll be huge, getting him back at home against the Devils. But I think Hagel here is the play. Just a shots on goal ladder here again, over 2.5, even money at DraftKings. His past several games here, 5 no shots in 2.5 minutes against the Rangers. Can kind of throw that one out. 4, 2 shots on 5 attempts at Colorado. That's a tough matchup. 4 had 3 shots, but 11 total attempts against Dallas, and then 4 and 5. So, this season he's had 3 or more shots in 12 of 17 games. So even money for that, I like a lot. And then over 3.5, he's had 4 shots on goal or more in 8 of 17 games. So nearly half. And that's plus 245. So I think plus 245 there. Another, Hagel, Meier, I mean, that's the same game, so you can't really do a round robin from the same game. But pick either of those guys. I think could be a good little mini step ladder for Hagel or Meyer. Also, might take a look at Brendan Hagel to get an assist. He returned with an assist against the Canucks, which gives him an assist in 3 games that he finished 3 games in a row. And since had a slow start, really slow start to the season with 1 point in his first 7 games. But since then, he has had 14 points, 7 goals, 7 assists in 10 games. So, plus 155, plus 160 for an assist. Don't mind that. If you want to play it safer for him to get a point, that's minus 135. That's actually a lot better than I thought it would be. Maybe they're expecting a low scoring game against the Devils, but yeah, Hagel at minus 142, minus 135, minus 154, even at FanDuel, I think is a good number there to get a point, especially if Cirelli comes back. If he gets Cirelli back on his line and they still have Gensel there, or even if it's just those two, I could see him doing some damage there. Okay, going down here to the Kraken and the Red Wings. Got a few more shots on goal props here. But something that I don't like to bet a ton is you got Ben Sherratt, shot blocks over 1.5 is minus 130 at DraftKings. He's had 3, 4, 4, 2, 2, and 3 in his past 6 games. Not probably not going to be betting this myself, but just look at him. What else does he do? He's a defensive defenseman. He blocks shots. He hits people. So 2 blocks at minus 130. You can get a lot worse. Seattle right there, middle of the pack, 14.9 blocks allowed per game. Josh Morrissey had 2. Pionk had 3. Game before that, you had Werenski had 2. Fabro had 3. Harley had 2. Heiskanen had 2. So he's been getting 3, 4 shot blocks. So over 1.5 minus 130. Over 2.5, he's had in 3 straight games, plus 225. If you want to do that, figured I'd throw that out for the true D-gens out there. But before I get to the assists, let me just look at Lucas Raymond, or the shots on goal. And let me look at Lucas Raymond to get an assist. He has 20 points in 17 games this season. 15 of them are assists, a 4-game point and assist streak with 7 assists in that span. Playing the Kraken might be a lower scoring game, but no Joey Decord. It should be a Philip Grubauer game for the Kraken. Let me see if he is confirmed. Oh no, Joey Decord is back for the Kraken tonight. That's big news for Seattle. It's definitely a more confident bet on Seattle money line here as road underdogs. But I still like Raymond to get an assist. I still think Detroit gets a few on the board, and if they do, it's going to be one of those top 2 lines, probably that top line with Larkin and DeBrincat getting it done there. Let me just quickly go over to the Kraken side of things to start with the shots goal with Jordan Eberle, over 2.5 shots on goal, plus 140 at DraftKings, but plus 168 over at FanDuel. 47 shots in 18 games, so a little bit over 2.5 per game. He was shooting a ton until last game. Last game, no shots on goal, only 2 total shot attempts against the Sharks. But before that, 6 straight games with 3 or more shots on goal. 22 in that span, 3-3, 5-5, 3-3. So if you give me plus 168, I will take that there against the Red Wings. I don't think the Red Wings are particularly good in limiting shots against. 26.6 on the goals, shots on goal allowed per game. And looking at recent games against right wings, Jack Quinn had 3, Alex Tuck had 4, Josh Doan had 4, Beckett Seneca had 4, Troy Terry had 4. So yeah, I like Eberle over 2.5 plus 168. Over 3.5 could be a play, plus 415. He had 5 at St. Louis and at Dallas, so maybe he gets it here again at Detroit. Over 3.5 plus 415. Over 4.5, 9-1. I mean, he's done that twice in his past 5 games, so maybe it could be a look there. Okay, other shots on goal for this game, quite a few. Let me just go right back to that top line. Dylan Larkin, over 2.5, minus 160, minus 165. 65 shots on goal in 19 games this season. That's over 3 shots per game. Recent games, he's had 3 or more in 8 straight games, 7, 3, 4, 7, 4, 3, 4, and 3 for 35 shots on goal in 8 games. That's over 4 per game. So I do like another ladder play here as well, over 3.5, plus 150 at ESPN. He's done that in 4 of his past 5 games, including 7 last time out at the Rangers there. He's really shooting the puck and, going for that. Shout out Archer in the chat. Maybe going for that Team USA Olympic bid here. Dylan Larkin as Red Wings top line center, 3 shots on goal or more in 14 games out of 19, and 4 or more in 9 out of 19. So yeah, I like a little shots on goal ladder there for Larkin. And yeah, let's just close out the Red Wings top line. Let's touch on all of them. Alex DeBrincat has been great. 21 points, 77 shots in 19 games. He has been absolutely firing the puck. Over 3.5 shots on goal is plus 120. He's done that in 4 straight and 8 of 9 with 4, 5, 6, 4, 3, 6, 4, 7 in that span there. On the season, he has 4 or more in 12 of 19, 5 or more in 8 of 19 there. So over 3.5 plus 120, over 4.5 plus 270. Round robin some of these, plus 200, plus 300, plus 400 guys. If 2 of them hit, it should be a good payoff there. And finally, for the Red Wings, Patrick Kane is back, and he's shooting the puck. 7 shots on goal against his former team at the Rangers, 3 against the Buffalo Sabres in the last home game. Only 31 shots in 10 games, but that's all we need. We need 3 shots on goal per game. He has done that in 4 of his past 5, with 5 or more in 3 of those games. So even money, over 3.5 shots on goal. He's done that in 5 of 10 games. I think that's a worthy look as well there for the Red Wings. Okay, before we move on here, we are brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. At Novig, you're getting the best prices. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Underdog, your home for pick'em entries, where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with code HGP. All right, down here, 8 o'clock, Blue Jackets at Jets. Just going to get this block shots prop out of the way first. Neil Pionk, over 1.5, minus 119. Over 2.5, plus 245 if you want. He's had a 3-3, 2, 3-3 in his past 5 games. Blue Jackets allow 16 blocks allowed, just the 23rd in the league. So that could be a look there if you are into blocked shots. But a lot of top line plays for this one. Let's just start with Kirill Marchenko, Kirill the Thrill here in Columbus, 22 points in 19 games. So you can take him to get a point if you want. That's always the safest play. In case you get a goal instead of an assist. He's only minus 175 for a point, which seems kind of crazy. I guess maybe they think they're not going to score too much on the back-to-back against the Jets on the road, which definitely is possible. But Marchenko here has an 12 game point streak with 12 assists, 15 points in that span. He has points in all but 2 games this season and has assists in all but 6 games this season. So assist there, getting a plus 115 number, or the point at minus 175 if you don't mind laying the juice. Just love the Jackets top line here, which I think still includes Adam Fantilli. Yeah, Fantilli and Marchenko and Voronkov. I like Fantilli to get a point as well, only at a minus 120, minus 118. Had a goal there against Montreal. Has points now in 5 of his past 6. It's been hit or miss this season, but since that 5 of his past 6, he has 7 points in that 6 game span. So minus 118. If you can get closer to even money, that's a good look there, I believe. And then one more player for the Blue Jackets. You got to target, I think, every game here is Zach Werenski to get an assist, minus 110. 10 assists in 19 games, 3 straight games with an assist in 4 of his past 5. Also, am looking at him over 3.5 shots on goal at plus 130. He's done that in 3 straight and 6 of his past 7. But I am wary because it is a back to back. And looking at these last back to backs, he had 2 shots on goal, but 7 attempts, and then 2 shots on goal, but 6 attempts. So, and then 2 and 4 attempts. So, like, he has not been good on, he has not reached 4 shots on goal in any of the 4 back to backs yet for the Blue Jackets. So, keep that in mind if you are going to take his props. But I mean, he's been firing the puck in all of them there. So if they can find the net against the Jets, we have a plus 130 price for him to get 4 shots on goal. See Archer here asking for some goalie props in the chat. I do have some team shots on goal props. I can go through them at the end. That is something that's available only on a few books, but you can translate them to goalie saves as well. I'll throw them out at the end for you guys. Have one more. Who else am I looking at? Josh Morrissey for the Jets here. Just way too many props for this game. That's probably going to end like 2-1 or something with as long as Hellebuck's in that. But Morrissey, 16 assists, 19 points in 18 games. He is on a tear right now. Had a 2 assists last game. He's on a 5-game point streak with 8 points in that span. You can get him to get a point minus 145 at ESPN right now, which is quite a nice price. Minus 155, bet MGM, minus 162, minus 172 is out there. So shop around for that. Minus 110 for an assist. He does score here and there, but 16 of his 19 points have been assists. So I do like, getting down especially if you only have FanDuel available, getting it from minus 172 to minus 122 could be worth it. But if you can get minus 145 for a point rather than minus 110, could be, you could argue you can do that here with he has 2 goals in his past 5 games, so he could be feeling it a little bit. But 2 assists last game, only had 1 shot attempt. That's the way to go there with the assist. And then shots on goal here for Kyle Connor over 3.5 at plus 115. 70 shots on goal in 18 games this season. 5-2, 5-6 in his last 4. 7 total shot attempts or more in 4 straight as well. 4+ shots on goal in 10 of 18 games. 5+ in 7 of 18. So you can get 4+ at plus 115. 5+ at plus 260 could be worth a little, step up round robin ladder there for Kyle Connor. And all right, here at 8 o'clock again, got the New York Islanders and the Dallas Stars. I didn't have any Matthew Schaefer props lined up, but we got Archer in the chat asking for some Schaefer propaganda here. No points, 2 shots on goal last game. 7 shot attempts, so maybe look at some Matthew Schaefer shots on goal to get back up to 3 there. Let me look at what his prices are. I do have DraftKings open in another tab here. Shots on goal for Matthew Schaefer. 3+ is even money. He's done that in 11 of 19 games. Sure, why not? If you can get plus money on Matthew Schaefer, plus 105 here even at DraftKings is fine there. A point for Matthew Schaefer would be plus 115. He has a point in 12 of 19 games. That could be worth it. And power play goals. He has 4 power play goals, 3 power plays assists. So maybe a power play point for Schaefer as well could be a nice way to play it if I can find that at plus 325. When you got Horvat, Druin plus 270, Barzal plus 290, then Schaefer plus 325, could be a way to attack Schaefer there because the Stars have been good, but maybe the Islanders can get some here on the power play. I am going to look at Horvat to get a point though, minus 145 23 points in 19 games. He saw his point streak come to an end against Colorado, but Colorado's tough, and Stars are tough too. But points in 14 of 19 games here for Bo Horvat. I'll take the -145 price for him to get back on the score sheet, and then Barzell as well, -135 at DraftKings. 15 points in 18 games. Also had a point streak and in Colorado, but that's the top line there. Maybe stack them together if that's even worth doing, which it's probably not. I'll do a quick line shop here on DraftKings. Horvat -145 plus Barzell -145 gets to +152. That's not bad. That's better than I expected there. Let's see if you add in Matthew Schaefer +292. You could get a nice. That could happen on one goal. You could see that happen on one goal. Barzell's playing on a different line than Horvat now, though. That explains why it's not correlated there. So maybe don't stack. Maybe just pick one of those. Maybe I should look at the lines before I talk out of my ass too much. On the Stars side of things, I like Mikko Rantanen. Mikko Rantanen to get an assist, -135, 26 points, 17 assists in 19 games this season. Has an assist in 3 straight, has an assist in 13 of 19 games, point in 16 of 19. So 3 games without an assist where he got a goal. But him to get a point is going to be a lot more than -135. Rantanen to get a point is -285. So yeah, I'll take the assist there at -135, and I will do the same for Miro Heiskanen. He's been good. 14 assists, 17 points in 19 games. Saw his assist streak end against the Flyers despite scoring 5 goals. But before that, 5 games, had 11 assists in that span. I think they can get quite a few here against the Islanders and David Rittich there in net for New York. Okay, one more game here before we hit the break. Gonna go to Calgary and Chicago, and I'll start with Archer's boy Matthew Coronado here. I do like Matthew Coronado. Shots on goal prop, 56 shots in 19 games this season. Over 2.5 shots on goal is -135. He wasn't shooting a lot early on. You look here at the game log: 1-1, 4-1, 3-2, 2-4. But since an 11 shots on goal against the Blackhawks, it's the Blackhawks again tonight. This time, this time in Chicago. But since that game, 11 shots on goal, 5, 6, 4, and 4. That's just been insane for him. He has 56 shots on goal for the season. 30 of them have come in the past 5 games. He's on the top line in Calgary, and he's the shooter with Morgan Frost and Jonathan Huberdeau. So love his ladder here. Over 2.5 -135, over 3.5 +192, possibly over 4.5 +450, 5.5 +900 if you want that to see if he can get 11 again against the Blackhawks there. Do I have any other Flames props? I do have Mackenzie Weegar. Shots on goal over 2.5, +155 at DraftKings. Only averaging 2 shots on goal per game, but like Coronado, a lot of them coming recently: 3, 5, 3, and 6 in his past 4 games. I could see him getting 3 there. +155 is a pretty good number. Over 1.5 -188, a bit safer, but done that in what's that? 7 of his last 8 games, 6 of 7 here. What's that? 7 of 8 in games in November. He's had 2 shots on goal, but I'm not recommending a -175 or higher play on this show. On the other side, I'm going to look at Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard has been fantastic this season for Chicago. 26 points, 10 goals in 18 games. Point against the Leafs, but had goals in 4 straight before that. So +135 for him to score. Could take a sprinkle on that. But also looking at his line mate, Andre Burakovsky, to score. Shop around for this. And +240 and +295 there at Bet Rivers and Canby Books. 7 goals in 16 games. He's been the recipient of a lot of Bedard assists recently. 5 goals in his past 7 games here. So he's hot on that top line and top power play unit for Chicago. So if there are goals here, he had 1 goal, 1 assist last game against Calgary. Could see something similar there as well. Oh yeah, Bedard assist as well. Minus 130, good look. And Connor Bedard power play point plus 160. He's a menace on the power play. So play Bedard any way you can, and then maybe find some Burakovsky. See if Bertuzzi's playing. It looks like he's gonna be out. It's a possibility to return. So maybe Bertuzzi props as well if he's on that top line. But yeah, just look on the top line for the Blackhawks. Okay, we are brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is crushing it in college football, NFL, and the NBA. Rhythm is giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. Use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right, going down to the 2 10 o'clock games now. Utah Mammoth at the San Jose Sharks. It is a back-to-back here for Utah, so don't have a ton for this game. Just looking at primarily one guy here. Mikhail Sergachev has been great since they traded for him from the Lightning. Last year had 53 points. This year has 15 points, 12 of which are assists in 19 games. Has an assist in 4 straight games. He plays big minutes. Believe he plays on that top power play unit. Just double check that before I give this out. Yeah, Sergachev on the top unit with Keller, Schmaltz, Cooley, and Gunther. So a lot of offensive firepower there. Plus 110 for an assist or minus 125 for a point if you don't want to be caught if he gets a goal. But besides that, yeah, not really playing too much. Sharks offense has dried up a bit. Maybe you see some Celebrini props, but he has cooled down. Still 27 points in 19 games. But I imagine his odds are probably way too high to get a point. Let me just check that real quick because we do could be worth playing. Yeah, 1 point is minus 255 for Celebrini. 2 plus 175. Maybe he gets hot and is able to do that. But don't really like that power play point plus 185. I'd rather take a longer shot on that top unit. So not really much there for that game. But going down to the final game, Rangers at the Golden Knights. Let's start on the road side with Mika Zibanejad, 12 points in 20 games, but a lot of them have come recently. Vincent Trocheck coming back has helped kind of put people where they're supposed to be for the Rangers. So Zibanejad to get a point is minus 125. He has a 4-game point streak, points in 5 of 6 here. I think he can get one against the Golden Knights, whose goaltending has not been great this year without Aiden Hill. But on the Vegas side, I'm primarily looking at Tomas Hertl to get a point and also shots on goal. 15 points, 51 shots in 18 games played this season. Has a point in 4 straight, which gives him points in 11 of 18 games on the year. He's a minus 146 at FanDuel, minus 170 at DraftKings. So I wouldn't play it over minus 150 or so. Second line for Vegas, so not up there with Eichel. Not up, doesn't have a Marner on his line, I don't believe. I think it's him. Oh, it is him, Marner and Dorofeyev, because Braden Bowman is up there on the top line with Eichel and Barbashev. So like that even more. Hertl to get a point if you can get it at minus 146. Yeah, shots on goal as well, over 2.5, around minus 120. His recent games, 3, 3, 4, 5, and 8 shots on goal there. So, not quite going to go for a big ladder here, but 3.5 plus 210. He could get there against the Rangers. Rangers on the road have been good. We'll see how they do here in Vegas. And then looking at 2 defensemen, shots on goal for the Golden Knights, starting with Shea Theodore. 40 shots on goal in 18 games. Only 1 last game in Minnesota. But before that, 4, 6, 3, and 3. Has 3 shots on goal in 8 of 18 games. And he is plus 162 to do so tonight at home. And also Noah Hannafin over 2.5 shots on goal at plus 182. He has 23 shots in 8 games, 3-3, 1-4-1, 5-3-3 in his game. So 3 or more in 6 of 8, plus 182 to get 3 shots on goal. I think one of those has to hit. Maybe both do, but I think, plus 182 for Hannafin, plus 162 for Theodore. Bet both of them. If you hit one, you make something there with 2 good plus odd prices. All right, yeah, that is the player props for the 8-game slate here. I am going to go over some uh, team total shots on goal, which kind of can be related here to goalie saves that I'm looking at. I'm going to start with, let me pull up what I have here in my notes. Maple Leafs over 27.5 shots on goal at home against the Blues. So looking at the recent games, 33, 15, 33, 20, 33, 19. But it's more about what St. Louis has been doing. They've allowed 34, 31, 40, 30, 28, 32, 26, 35 in their past 8 games. So 8 straight games, allowing 27.5 or more. Toronto's going to need to get pucks on net. They've had 2 days off now after coming home from Chicago. So I think Toronto, gets those pucks on net. They don't have the top skill to rely on too much. So I think they, go volume, especially against the Blues, who give up a ton of shots on goal there. Devils over 26.5 shots on goal, kind of similar, without Jack Hughes. I do like Timo Meier to get shots on goal. They had 31 shots on goal in the first meeting against the Lightning. Lightning, last game only gave up 17 to the Canucks. Haven't given up a ton recently, but looking back more here, 30, 32, 33. And it's also more about the Devils. They're just a high event team. Shots on goal recently 31, 37, 35, 24, 28, 33, 22, 31, 30. So I think they average, should probably get averages up here in a different tab so I can spout them out as well. But they average over, have to average over 26.5 shots on goal. Yeah, they're up there at 29.5, and the Lightning are allowing 27.6. So I think the Devils can get to the Lightning's average tonight. Going for the Kraken, team total shots on goal under 25.5. They don't typically shoot too much. Second lowest in the league, 24.6. They've seen that recently, last 3 games, 23, 18, and 23. Had 31, 30, 30 before that, but 24, 13, 21, and 23 prior to that. And then Detroit does typically limit shots on goal, 26.6, 12th fewest in the league, and just recent games, 19, 27, 28, 19, 26. So I see just a low event game here with not a lot of shots either way, but who's taking the Kraken team total under, which would correlate to I think Cam Talbot starting tonight for the Red Wings saves under there. Islanders at the Stars. Stars have been dominant recently, and Islanders, they do shoot the puck quite a bit, but under 27.5 here. They had 29 in Colorado, largely due to score effects. Maybe they'll get that again. But prior to that, 21, 24, 24, 26 on this road trip at Rangers, Devils, Vegas, and Utah. Dallas recently allowing 21 and 24 to the Flyers and Montreal. And before that, at home, 24 to Anaheim, 26 to Edmonton. So I don't see the Islanders getting to 28 here in Dallas. And then going to the Blue Jackets here. Blue Jackets under 29.5. It's a back there, 23, 27, 25 in their last 3. Winnipeg did allow 34 at Calgary in their last game, but coming back home here, I think they're able to, a few days off. Columbus coming up from Columbus, so I think they control play. Winnipeg does here and keeps the Blue Jackets from shooting too much. I realized I'm sharing the wrong tab there. My apologies. And then going down here to the Flames. I mentioned Matt Coronado, mentioned a bunch of guys here. I like the Flames over 30.5 shots for Calgary. They are averaging 29.9. Chicago is allowing the most in the league at 31.9, and Calgary recent games 34, 36, 40, 36, 33. Chicago has allowed 33, 37, 46, 33 in Calgary, 45. So then Calgary here can get into the 30s once again. Two more here. Sharks is going to be under 24 and a half team total shots on goal. Utah is a good team at limiting shots against, the best in the league, 23.7 allowed per game, and San Jose takes the fewest in the league, 24.3. So it's a low total for San Jose at 24 and a half, but they haven't reached that in many of their past 8 games. They've reached it twice, and they was 28 and 26. So I don't see that happening tonight against Utah, who does not allow many shots on goal at all. And then finally, Rangers under 26 and a half at Vegas. I just see Vegas trying to play a good defensive game at home. They're trying to find their game right now. 28, 23, 24, 20 in their last 4 games against Rangers. Goals or shots for 19, 33, 21, and 18 in their last 4. So I think Vegas there, that's a round robin type of play with those team total shots on goal. There's 8 of them. So if you hit 4, you should about break even. Hit 5, you profit. That's the way I like to play them for the team totals there. Okay, that's gonna about do it here for the player prop show for Tuesday, November 8th. Just flashing up the puck buck plays for tonight for myself here in the first column, then Joel, then Archer here. In case you missed them, at the 42-minute mark of the video. Make sure you subscribe to Hockey Gambling Podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. We appreciate all of that. Follow on Twitter at HockeySGPN and get in the Discord, sg.pn/Discord. I am Ryan Gilbert. You can follow me on Twitter at